Howdy, folks. Today I want to talk about a bunch of stuff that I've been putting off forever. I've been really, really busy this season making these guys. I'll talk about those when I'm done. So the first thing on the menu is going to be the Letshuoer Cadenza 4. They are hay gears, 3D printed. Let me turn this down a little bit. 3D printed, 4 driver IEMs. They have a beryllium coated dynamic driver, I think. Sorry, they have Sonian, probably balanced armatures for mids and nulls for the uppers. And this is actually a very high quality tuning. I'm not a huge fan of the Hager's resin style. It's just a little bit toyish to me, but you know, it's fine. These fit well. They are relatively classy, so they're okay. But the tuning on these is actually quite refined, quite high level. You can EQ the bass up quite a lot and it will slam your ear holes to death, which is fantastic. Beryllium coated dynamic driver, really, really nice. Excellent mid tonality from the Sonian drivers, I'm assuming. And just the right amount of sparkle and air, refined, smooth, balanced with everything else. They're a hell of a good IEM, as it turns out. So I wanted to bring these up. 250 bucks. You're going to pay a bit for them, but they're really, really nice IEMs and actually quite recommended from myself. So in the $250 range, I'm not sure what else I would think of. They're probably like the Oxygens, the Hannas out there. As far as hybrids, so far, I honestly can't think of anything that I like more than these. These are some of the first hybrids I've heard in forever and ever that I actually really got down with and I dig. So yeah, Cadenza 4, recommended. Go figure. Letshuoer does a really good job sometimes. So on that vein, we have some Letshuoer S08. These are planar 13 millimeter drivers. They are the same ones in like the Kiwi Ears Melodies, and they're like, you know, sort of the hot thing right now versus the 14.2, 0.6.8 millimeter drivers. These are a safe tuning. Paul Wasabi sent me these and actually retuned them a little bit. There's, I guess, 2 foams smacked in the bores here. He floofed up the second one. We'll call it floofed rather than compacted, which gives them a little bit of extra planar mojo. When you shove a bunch of foams into a planar driver, you end up blunting and smoothing and smearing the tonality. It's absolutely true. But also, I think these 13 millimeter drivers are not technically as good, technically being the staging, the imaging, and the overall mojo as the S12, S12 Pro drivers, although those can be peaky, they need retuning, things like that. However, I think these are about like a $90 to $100. So overall, they're pretty good. They're not bad. They probably beat a hell of a lot of dynamic drivers, but in terms of planers, safe, fine, okay. If you do have these, you might want to just take those little nozzles off, either take one foam out or floof it up or do something like that, and they'll probably come across a little bit better to you. A little bit more of that planar mojo, better imaging, better staging, all that kind of stuff. So I don't mind them. They fit well. They're light, aluminum, things like that. Recommended? I don't know. They're not recommended. They're just, you could do things to get a better pair of the S12s, and do some stuff to them. These are the Tin Hi-Fi, P1 Max 2. And so these are also, I think, 13 millimeter planar drivers. They're fine. They're safe. I don't know. I don't really have a lot to say. It's sort of like a generic planar tuning. They don't have the super best imaging and staging. They're like safe, fine. Probably beat a lot of dynamic drivers under $100. Recommended? Probably not. I don't know, man. I've modified so many S12s that's really where my heart lies completely. Got a mod on those called Nobodies, which is people that have them, which are only a few, say that they're some of the best things they ever heard, like on any type of IEM out there. So cool. We got these ones here. Not bad. I really like the Cadenza 4s though. So these are actually recommended. 250 bucks. Yeah, go out and get some of those guys. And I got this one here from Paul, which I listened to, and these are Supermix 4s. And 4 being they have 4 types of drivers. Let's see, dynamic, balanced armature, I think planar possibly, and piezo. And fucking piezos, man. God, I don't know why anybody uses those things. These have an incredibly pushed treble that is extremely metallic all the way up into the air regions, and I just don't care about them that much. Like anything, maybe some genres would work better than others on them, but like that that piezo or whatever's doing that, it could be the planer, that microplaner, but ugh, that metallic sheen over the entire frequency response is just very off-putting. I can't stand them at all. And again, Singats and me just don't get along that well, so sorry about that. But thanks for sending me these. Interesting, but absolutely hell no. And the final thing is, these are the, I'm not telling you what, they have no name right now. They are Twilight inspired, Twilight shell. They're 3D resin printed. Recessed 2-pin, as you can see there. Offset bore, much like Twilight. I did that for a reason, because like if I had the straight bore, you know, just going straight out the center, and sent those around to a few people, and they're like, yeah, these are pretty hard to fit. And it's like, well, shit, I'll give that a shot. And I offset them and retuned them, and I actually got the tonality correct, so they don't like, tonality's not changed. Things about these, the rear chamber has a certain air volume in it. Actually, I have over 180 revisions of these over 8 months, 9 months, something like that, and it's been a struggle. Let me tell you what, these are some of the hardest drivers I've ever had to tune in my whole life, and planer holds nothing to these. They're absolutely insanely hard to deal with. And just recently I got these to the point where I'm fairly confident I'm at the final tuning. Super lightweight, super tough. The resin is not your standard bullshit like brittle resin. You could probably throw these on the floor and you won't break them, very likely. The shells are thick enough to where they won't screw up. You know, everything like that. It's taken a long time to work this out. These are unfinished. I still need to, you could see like the 3D print marks. I need to sand that off and lacquer them and things like that. But finally, after all this time, I got something that I'm happy with and can be proud of a tuning on these guys. Again, not named. They will not be cheap. I have 9 months and thousands of dollars to make up with these things. But besides that, I believe that I've got the tuning into a top of the line territory. So yeah, pretty happy with these, although it's been a struggle from hell. So anyways, nice chatting. I'll talk to you guys on the next one.